Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be putting 128 comic book films head to head in a bracket to see what the greatest champion of them all is. Now listen, I know what you guys are thinking, this is probably pretty insane. Well yeah, one thing I will say is, I have to leave for the airport in 5.5 hours. It's currently 11:30 p.m. and I was like, you know what, I'm going on vacation, let me make a really simple video. Let's rank 128 comic book films. So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing today. So as you guys can see on screen here, yeah, they're all here, all 128. Now, not all of these are superhero films, but honestly, I think that a lot of the ones that are non-superhero are going to get weeded out pretty quickly, and I say that we don't waste any time. The only thing that I will say is that, first of all, I'm going to be ranking these off of both of how good I think they are, and then also my own personal preference, like how much I love these films. And another thing that I want to mention is that, as you guys can see, the matchups are here, but in this first round, for some reason, there's just random movies placed there for some reason, but as you guys can see, when I click there, it does change, so I don't know why these movies are placed there, but as we go through things, especially into the second round, it should line up nicely. But listen, out of 128 films, let's see what's the best, let's see what's the worst, let's see what's going to be an upset, and the seating's completely random, so let's just get into things here, because I have to catch this flight at 5 in the morning. So we're going to be kicking things off here with Across the Spider-Verse versus X-Men First Class. Now listen, I love First Class to death. I love the X-Men movies, but Spider-Verse unfortunately mogs this film. It's incredible. It's amazing. It's one of the greatest comic book films ever, and it's going to be beating that. See, I want to talk about all these films, but we have 128 to talk about, and then we have to go head-to-head again, and then again, and then again. So as we move down the rounds. Next up, we've got Blue Beetle versus Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2. I'm going to be honest, I'm just going to do Blue Beetle because I have not seen the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles film, and I also really like the Blue Beetles movie. I'm not really a big Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles person, so I'm sorry. Maybe Secret of the Ooze, I believe is what it's called, is good, but just haven't seen it, and I like Blue Beetle. Next up is going to be The Flash versus Doctor Strange 2016. Both of these movies are pretty orange and blue, like when it comes to their color palettes. I'm actually going to go to The Flash here. I know that's going to sound kind of crazy. I am not a big fan of Doctor Strange. I'm a bit lower on it, and I'm actually higher on The Flash than most people, but I haven't seen it since it came out, so give me a break here. Next up is going to be Wonder Woman versus Dredd. Now, I've not seen Dredd. Pretty much have to automatically give it to Wonder Woman for that reason. I also really like Wonder Woman, so yeah. Also, I'm going to try to do this in one take without making any mistakes, but we'll see what happens. Next up is going to be the Michael Bay Ninja Turtles movie versus Big Hero 6. Gotta go Big Hero 6 because I haven't seen the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles film. Now, trust me, I've seen most of the films on this list, but we're just starting off with a couple that I have not seen. So yeah, it's pretty unfortunate, but Big Hero 6 is still a banger, so yeah. Next up, Captain Marvel versus Lego Batman. Lego Batman absolutely destroys Captain Marvel. Like, I think I like Captain Marvel a bit more than most people. I haven't seen it in a while, quite honestly, but the Lego Batman movie, it's one of the best Batman movies. I'm not going to lie. Like, if I'm just being so honest, it's just one of the best to me. Next up is going to be Men in Black, which I didn't even really realize was a comic book movie. I'm just going to be honest. Versus X-Men The Last Stand. I'm just going to do Men in Black just for the love of the game. I haven't seen this since I'm like a kid, but X-Men The Last Stand, I do view in a negative light. Even though I do think it has some positives, I just can't really give it a good rating. I'm trying to see what... This is also Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles against Kick-Ass 2. I have not seen either of these. I'm going to be going with Kick-Ass just because I've maybe seen a couple scenes when I was a kid. But yeah, that's pretty unfortunate, but it's time to move on. Guys, I promise you we're getting rid of like all the random movies, and then we're going to get into the heaters. Next up, we've got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles again versus Supergirl. All I've heard is that Supergirl sucks, so we're going to be going with that. I promise you we're getting to the good stuff, guys. Let's just chill out. Next up, we've got Shazam versus Rise of the Silver Surfer. I'm going to go Shazam here. Maybe that's an unpopular opinion. I know that people don't like Zachary Levi right now, but I think this movie's honestly really solid. It's one of the better DCEU movies. And on top of that, I think Rise of the Silver Surfer was trying to do way too much, and it's just not really all that good. Has a lot of sauce, and I love the cast, but it's not really a great movie overall. Next up is going to be the Suicide Squad versus Iron Man 3. Going to be going the Suicide Squad pretty easily. I really like Iron Man 3. It has a lot of problems, but Suicide Squad, one of the better comic book films of this decade, in my opinion. Next up is going to be, I believe, Ghost Rider versus Ant-Man. Going to be going Ant-Man because I've only seen like clips of Ghost Rider. I'm going to be honest. I've heard some good things, some bad things. But yeah, I saw a couple clips like when I was a kid or whatever. I maybe caught it on TV a couple times. But have not seen this movie in like 15, 20 years. So yeah, going to be going with Ant-Man. But I think Ant-Man's like an okay film. Next up is going to be Kick-Ass versus Birds of Prey. Going to be going Birds of Prey. I've seen like maybe a little bit of Kick-Ass from when I was a kid. But Birds of Prey to me, it's kind of underrated. I actually kind of like this movie. I think, again, it's one of the better DCEU films. Now, every time I say that, it doesn't really mean much, quite honestly, but still just worth mentioning. Next is going to be Ang Lee's Hulk versus, I think, another Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. I haven't seen either of these. Guys, I know that it seems like I'm just so fake right now. Like, why did I even decide to make this video? We have so many movies to talk about. Just trust me. I'm going to be going with, it doesn't really matter, quite honestly. Just going to be going with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles just because I like Michael Bay. And I believe, I can't even really see it, honestly. But yeah. Next is going to be the Batman versus Zack Snyder's Justice League. Easily the Batman Mogs. I'm sorry, I'm not watching this 4-hour movie. No, honestly, I like Zack Snyder's Justice League. It's very stylized, but it's not really one that I'm really going to like go crazy for. Next up's going to be Punisher with, I believe, Thomas Jane versus Green Lantern. I'm going to go Punisher even though I haven't even seen it because Green Lantern is not all that good. Now listen, one thing I will say is that I think people get like too hyped up on the whole like, I hate the Green Lantern movie thing. I don't think it's that bad. Like, it's bad. It's probably like 4 out of 10 to me, but yeah, it's not like amazing either. So I think some people though say it's like 1 out of 10. I think it has some redeemable factors, honestly. Next up, Aquaman versus Guardians 2. Maybe this is a hot take, but I actually really like Guardians 2, and I don't really like Aquaman. I'm going to be putting Guardians 2 there. I just think that Aquaman is very overrated, honestly. I'm just going to be real. Also, I don't know if there's like newer films on this list, like Superman or anything like that, or Fantastic Four, the 2025 one, but I guess we'll see as we go on. Next up, Spider-Man Far From Home versus Superman, I believe 4. I'm going to go Far From Home just because I've seen it, even though I don't like it, and I've heard that this is one of the worst comic book films ever, so going to be skipping past that. Next up, oh my god, look at this matchup. It's going to be X-Men Dark Phoenix versus Avengers Infinity War. I have nothing to say here. This is one of the worst comic book films I've ever seen. This is one of the best, so that's pretty easy. Next is going to be the original 1966, I believe, Adam West Batman versus Black Widow. Now listen, I'm going to put Black Widow just because I haven't seen the other one, but I actually think Black Widow is pretty underrated. And again, I don't think there's any like ride or dies for like the 1966 Adam West Batman. I believe it's 1966. Maybe I'm wrong, but right around there. I think that's what this is. I just can't really see the graphic all that well. But yeah, Black Widow, I think it's actually a pretty solid movie. I'm not going to act like it's great, but yeah. Next is going to be Avengers Endgame versus Kingsman. I really like Kingsman, and I'm sorry to be a comic book nerd, but I love this movie. Like, Kingsman's written really well. Maybe it's a bit cleaner, but Endgame's Endgame, man. I'm sorry. I love this movie. I have not switched up on it. Multiverse of Madness versus Batman v Superman. This is going to sound crazy, okay? I think both of these movies are super underrated. Multiverse of Madness, I give an 8 out of 10. Batman v Superman Ultimate Edition, I give an 8 out of 10. I think I'm going to be going with, oh my god, this is really tough. I think I'm going to be going with Batman versus Superman. Oh, this is so tough because I love Sam Raimi's style, but I think Zack Snyder actually made a really good film here. For once, I think that I'm going to go with BVS, though. I think it's just more epic, and I think Multiverse of Madness, even though BVS has a ton of things that piss me off, Multiverse of Madness feels like it was really being, like, tinkered with by Marvel, which I don't like, where this feels like Zack Snyder's vision. Whether I like it or not, I still respect it. Next, that's going to be Batman and Robin versus Into the Spider-Verse. Into the Spider-Verse, not really much to say there. Blade versus The Dark Knight Rises. Is that Blade 2? I believe it's Blade 2. I hate The Dark Knight Rises. I'm just going to give my honest take here, especially while I'm basically delusional and tired right now. I'm going to be giving Blade 2 the win here. I haven't even seen Blade 2, but I'm just going to give it to that because I've heard some decent things, but honestly, The Dark Knight Rises, I just really don't like that much. As we get on to round 2, obviously I'm going to, have seen more films. Next up is going to be Spider-Man Homecoming versus The Suicide Squad 2016. Going to be going with Homecoming here. I don't really like Homecoming that much, though. I'm just going to be completely honest. Like, I think it's super overrated. But, yeah, Suicide Squad's basically the worst superhero film I've ever seen. So, yeah. Fantastic Four versus Superman. I want to say 2 or 3. Yeah, I want to say 2 or 3. I'm going to be going Fantastic Four. I think this movie's really underrated, and I have not seen this film. So, yeah, going to be giving a pretty solid rating there. I mean, I think it deserves that win. Jonah Hex versus the original Superman, easily the original Superman. I think it's a really good film, and Jonah Hex is just absolutely garbage and horrible. Next up, this is a very interesting matchup. Another matchup where I gave both of these movies the same rating. So we got The Amazing Spider-Man and X-Men. They both get a 7 out of 10 for me. I love the X-Men films, but I think The Amazing Spider-Man does have a lot of energy and juice to it. This is really tough. This is really tough for me. I think I'm going to give the edge to The Amazing Spider-Man. I really like the X-Men movie, the original one, but I think The Amazing Spider-Man is just a little bit better, a little bit more interesting. Next up, Venom versus Guardians 3. Oh my god. Hydrogen Bomb versus Coughing Baby here. I mean, this is just a ridiculous matchup. Next is going to be the Kingsman Golden Circle versus Joker. I'm going to be going I haven't seen Golden Circle in a while. I'm trying to remember the last time I've seen it. I think maybe in theaters. I'll give it a Joker just because I remember it more. I've seen it more recently, but I need to give Golden Circle a rewatch. I'll give it a Joker for now. Next is going to be original Batman 1989, Michael Keaton versus Spider-Man 3. Spider-Man 3, which by the way is one of the better comic book movies of all time. I don't care what anybody has to say. And then on the end of the first side here, oh my god, we have so many to go through. Batman Begins versus Wonder Woman 1984. Batman Begins, it's Christopher Nolan's vision fully fleshed out. I think that it does something amazing with Ra's al Ghul, and I think that it feels very flavorful. It was really like unique for the time, and it felt like it was taking itself very seriously, which I really appreciate. Now let's go back up to the top here on the right side and keep this thing rolling. One thing that's nice is that now these have updated here on the left side, so they look good, but we have to do the same over here. Next up, we've got Superman 2 versus X-Men Apocalypse, I want to say. Yeah, X-Men Apocalypse. We're going to go Superman 2. Watched this movie when I was a kid. X-Men Apocalypse, though, is just bad, so don't really like that, but Zod's really cool in this movie, and like the whole Trinity there and stuff with the Phantom Zone. I really like that. Next up, we've got Shazam! Fury of the Gods versus The Wolverine. I don't really love this movie, but I'll give it to The Wolverine. I think that this movie's pretty good. It starts off well, but then it just gets really bad towards the third act where we get this big robot. And Fury of the Gods, I actually liked it at first. I don't think it's that bad. My Letterboxd, I think I have it as like a 4-star. I'm not going to lie, but I haven't rewatched it since theaters. And yeah, it's one of these movies that I don't think about often. Wakanda Forever versus Black Panther. This is pretty interesting because this is seeded randomly. So I'm going to give the edge to Black Panther here. I think it's just a bit more interesting, quite honestly. I don't know if the Wakanda Forever film is paced all that well. It's like nearly 3 hours and it kind of drags, and I haven't seen it since theaters. Whereas Black Panther, even though I think it drops the ball a little bit in the end, I still think it's a better film overall. It just has so much juice, and you feel like Ryan Coogler's vision a bit more in the first film than the second one. I know the second one got a tough hand dealt to them, but still, it's just kind of the point. We're just talking about the quality of the films. We got Venom versus Civil War. Dude, let me just say this. Quick rant. Not this is going to be a rant. It's more of just like a statement. I just like borderline hate the Venom films. Like, I'm sorry. They're just so corny to me, and I just don't like Tom Hardy as Venom. I actually like Topher Grace better. Like, I know that's a hot take, but this is going to be Civil War, obviously. Next up, we have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles versus Deadpool 2. Going to be going Deadpool 2. Have not seen Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I've only seen like one Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles film, Mutant Mayhem, which we're probably going to be getting to in a little bit, but I still think Deadpool 2 is very good. Let's move on from there. Next, we've got Blade versus Captain America: The First Avenger. I've only seen First Avenger, so that's going to be going through, but one day I will watch Blade, but I really like The First Avenger. Joe Johnston, the director, just truly showed his craft on display. Next, we've got Watchmen versus Blade. This is a matchup where I haven't seen either, but luckily I think I know what film is going to be winning next, so it doesn't really matter all that much. I'm just going to be throwing Blade on there just because I'm more familiar with the character. I know that seems kind of stupid, but again, I think it's going to be losing either way the next round, so just give me a little bit of grace. Next up, Spider-Man 1, or is that Spider-Man 2? I can't really tell. I think that's Spider-Man 2. My brain is just fried right now. That's Spider-Man 2. Versus Men in Black International, I believe. Going to be going with this film. I have not seen this Men in Black movie with Chris Hemsworth and Thompson. I'm trying to remember her name. T. Thompson. I'm trying to remember her name. I can't. But yeah, moving on. Fantastic versus Mask of the Phantasm. Obviously, Mask of the Phantasm. Fantastic is literally one of the worst comic book movies of all time. Mask of the Phantasm, I'm not the biggest fan of it, I'm going to be honest. I think I need to just rewatch it because I also never watched the animated series as a kid, so that might be why I'm not as big high on it, but obviously it's better than this. Next up, we've got the Superman Returns film from 2006 and Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. Easily Scott Pilgrim. Scott Pilgrim is just so good. And this movie, I haven't seen since I'm a kid, but I just remember it being slow and like a bit dry stylistically. Next up is going to be Deadpool versus Thor. Now, I think Thor is very underrated, and even though a lot of people have turned on Ryan Reynolds and Deadpool as a character, I kind of have too, I'm not going to lie. I still think Deadpool's better. I really think it's one of the better, like, X-Men films, if you count it as, like, an X-Men film or Fox Universe films, whatever you want to call it. I still think it's really good. Next up is going to be Spider-Man 1 versus Mutant Mayhem. I'm going to be going with Spider-Man 1. I mean, I really liked Mutant Mayhem when it came out. I gave it a really high rating, but I haven't really thought about it much, I'm going to be honest, since it came out. And I think Spider-Man 1 is just one of my favorite films practically ever and one of my favorite Spider-Man films. So it's going to be moving on. Man, there's a lot of talking. Hold on. Next up is going to be Thor Ragnarok versus Constantine. I've only seen Thor Ragnarok. Haven't seen Constantine. One day I'll check it out. So I also like Thor Ragnarok. Like with some of these matchups, like this, for example, yes, I've only seen Thor Ragnarok, but I like the movie, so I don't think there's anything wrong with putting it above there. Like I don't feel guilty about that. Next up's going to be The King's Man. Oh my god. This is such a bad matchup. The King's Man versus The New Mutants. The New Mutants is a bottom 5, maybe bottom 3 movie I've seen in my life. Period. Like, worst movies I have ever seen, and The King's Man just sucks. I'm going to be putting The King's Man first, because the plot of this movie is just so disjointed, and things just kind of happen, I remember. And this movie is just god-awful, though, so I can't let it pass, but man, what a horrible matchup. Again, this was random order, so, oh my god, speaking of horrible matchups, look at this matchup. The Incredible Hulk versus Thor the Dark World. I'm going to be going Thor the Dark World. Maybe it's just me, but I think The Incredible Hulk is so boring. It is such an unbelievable drag to get through. It is brutal to watch. So I'm sorry, I'm putting Thor the Dark World because I think it at least has some good stuff in it. Next up's going to be Punisher. I honestly can't really see what that is in Thor Love and Thunder. See, my problem here is that I just don't know what this is, and I kind of just want to put Love and Thunder through. I'm going to be honest. Sorry, guys. I just can't tell what that is. I'm sorry. Next up, V for Vendetta versus Justice League. V for Vendetta, obviously. Such a great film. Talking about the government, talking about how people control you and things like that. And one of the worst comic book films of all time. So, yeah, V for Vendetta, obviously. Next up's going to be, this is X-Men. Is this X2? I think this is X2. I honestly can't tell, guys. Sorry for the pause there. Versus, oh my god, Shaq Steel. We're going with a Shaq film. Obviously, it's going to be X2. X2 is like literally ridiculous. It's one of the better comic book films ever. Next up, we've got Men in Black 2 versus Shang-Chi. I'm going Shang-Chi because I don't know if I've fully seen Men in Black 2. Shang-Chi, though, I really like. I think that's like one of the better post-Endgame Marvel movies, honestly. Next up, Batman Returns versus Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm going Guardians of the Galaxy. Guardians of the Galaxy is like my Star Wars. I'm just going to be real. I love James Gunn. I think it's awesome. I'm going to be moving on. Next up, we've got Man of Steel versus Iron Man 2. This is going to piss a lot of people off. I am easily going Iron Man 2. I think as a duology, this film works better with Iron Man when you look at it through that lens. I think this movie's very good going over who controls Iron Man as a character, as a person within this world. How does the government intervene? Versus Man of Steel, which is like this Elseworlds adaptation of Superman, this dark Superman. I just don't think the movie's all that good, but now that we have Superman 2025, which I'm starting to think is not on this list, because I think this is like maybe like a little bit outdated, I think that Man of Steel is something I can appreciate a bit more just in terms of like it's the darker Superman, but still don't really like the movie. I don't think it's all that good. Next up, we've got, who is this? What's her face? Julia Gardner. I'm blanking on her name, versus Black Adam. Her name is Elektra versus Black Adam. I'm going to be going Black Adam because I have not seen Elektra. But, yeah, either way, this is a pretty steaming hot garbage matchup. Spider-Man No Way Home versus Winter Soldier. I'm sorry, Winter Soldier just mogs this movie. Like, I'm being so serious. No Way Home, it was like my most anticipated movie of all time. And I still think it's pretty good, right? It's pretty enjoyable, okay, whatever. But it's one of these things where I just don't think it's aged all that well, if I'm just going to be completely honest with you guys. And yeah, Winter Soldier is a ridiculous political thriller, and I think it's so emotional and awesome. Next up, we've got the Battle of Mid. We've got Ant-Man and the Wasp and Avengers Age of Ultron. Easily Age of Ultron. Honestly, I'm just trolling. I think Age of Ultron's like clearly much better. And yeah, I don't have that much to say. I think it tries to do a bit too much, but it's still really entertaining. Introduces so many new concepts, especially for like all of Phase 3, but I still think it's really great, like Vision and the Sokovia thing and all that. Next up, we've got X-Men Origins Wolverine versus Catwoman. Oh my god, this is awful. I'm going to put X-Men Origins Wolverine just because I haven't seen Catwoman, but both these movies are really bad, so it doesn't really matter. Next up, we've got Peak versus Peak. This honestly really hurts me because we've got The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Wait, I think I messed something up, guys. Guys, I think I messed something up. Is this The Amazing Spider-Man 2 or The Amazing Spider-Man? I think that on here, hold on. I'm sorry, I'm not editing this out, honestly, because it's like midnight right now, and I just want to have a good time with you guys here. I want to kind of just vibe, because I think that I accidentally rated The Amazing Spider-Man 2 as the wrong film. I did. Okay, but it still moved on. It should have moved on. Sorry, guys. Sorry, technical difficulty, but we're going to keep moving on here. The Amazing Spider-Man, so this is the first one against Iron Man. Gonna push Iron Man through. I still really like TASM 1, but I don't think that it's good enough, and it's a bit too flawed for me, whereas Iron Man, I think, does such a good job of being grounded, kicking off the MCU, setting up Tony Stark as a character, diving into his own personal morals and what he believes is right at the end of the day, even though he's a bit sarcastic. I really love it. Oh my god. We are getting some all-time horrible matchups. Like, I can't believe that one of these movies are going to be going past The Amazing Spider-Man. We've got Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania versus Morbius. You guys are going to probably call me crazy here, okay? I'm doing Morbius because Ant-Man and the Wasp pisses me off more, like Quantumania. Quantumania really just frustrated me, whereas Morbius was just bad. Like, Morbius is one of the worst comic book films of all time, but to me, so is Quantumania, and what they promised us with Quantumania versus what was promised with Morbius, like, there wasn't really that many expectations for Morbius, whereas Quantumania, it was hyped up and then just fell flat on its face. So, I'm sorry I'm going Morbius. Like, I know there's more memes with Morbius, whatever, but I'd rather watch Morbius, which is like 90 minutes, than this 2-hour slogfest that pisses me off. Next is going to be Men in Black versus Logan. We're going to be going Logan. I think this is Men in Black 3. I haven't seen Men in Black 3, but Logan also is just one of the better comic book films ever, so I think it's just really awesome. Next up, Daredevil versus Eternals. Both of these films I give 2 stars, but honestly, Daredevil has a lot more sauce to it. Like, I'm just going to be real. Like, this film is 3 hours, it's boring, and I don't want to just call every 3-hour film boring, but this movie's genuinely boring. It is slow, the characters are not interesting. I hate the way that they did the non-linear storytelling, not just because they did it, but because the way they did it doesn't make sense, and they just were biting off more than they can chew. You could say that they flew a bit too close to the sun like Icarus, haha. But yeah, Daredevil's going to be going here, and even though it's not that great and the show's much better, I think the movie still like has some redeeming qualities. Next up, we're just going to do The Avengers over Batman and Robin. This is Batman Forever, actually, so yeah, going to be putting it over that. I don't even know if I've seen Batman Forever, like, fully, or at least in years, but going to be watching that before the Batman Part 2 for sure. X-Men Days of Future Past versus Superman 3 with Richard Pryor, I believe. Days of Future Past, it's so underrated, it's so unbelievable. And next up, we've got The Dark Knight versus Ghost Rider 2, I want to say, or Ghost Rider. Either way, it doesn't really matter. We're going to be choosing The Dark Knight. And guys, round 1 is done. I don't know how long that was, but let's go back up to the top and just keep this momentum going, okay? Let's move. Okay. Across the Spider-Verse versus Blue Beetle. We got to kind of pick up the pace here. Across the Spider-Verse, it's just a better film. I'm sorry. It's literally one of the greatest animated films of all time, if not the greatest. And Blue Beetle is just pretty forgettable. Why do I keep saying Blue Beetle? It's Blue Beetle. Oh my god, I'm like Australian here. Next up, we've got 2 of the most controversial actors of this decade. Ezra, why am I forgetting his name? Ezra Miller? Am I just making that up? I don't know. Ezra versus, dude, it's like nearly midnight, okay? My brain is just fried right now. Ezra versus Gal Gadot. I'm going to be putting Wonder Woman past. I think that, again, The Flash still has some redeeming qualities. I think it's pretty funny. But, yeah, I just can't realistically, with, my heart, put The Flash over Wonder Woman, because I think Wonder Woman still has like some pretty good redeeming elements. Next up, we've got 2 baby movies, some would say. We've got the Lego Batman movie going to be going over Big Hero 6. I think it's just much better, and I love Batman, like, obviously, but also, like, I don't think Big Hero 6 is really that good. Like, it's not, like, that great. I remember growing up at this movie, so, like, I really did enjoy it, but, yeah, I think the Lego Batman movie is, like, again, one of the better Batman movies, seriously. Next up, oh my god, 2 movies I have not really seen. I'm going to be putting Men in Black, though, because I've seen, like, most of Men in Black. And I've got to say, like, it's kind of unfortunate that this movie's making it this far, even though I haven't really fully seen it. Next up's going to be Shazam versus Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Going to be putting Shazam because, again, I haven't really seen this movie. So, yeah, and also I do like Shazam. Like, I'll still defend that movie. I'm sorry. Next up, Ant-Man versus Suicide Squad. Oh my god, Ant-Man is so much better than... Suicide Squad is so much better than Ant-Man. Ant-Man is just so, like, flavorless to me. Like, I'm not just trying to hate on the movie that loses, but, yeah, Suicide Squad 2 is just so great. It's so fun. Like, there's so much energy in that movie that I just absolutely love, and the cast just brings it, whereas Ant-Man is just a bit like, yeah, whatever, it's a heist movie, it's pretty cool, and I enjoy it, but, yeah, that's about it. Birds of Prey is going to be beating the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie because I haven't seen it. And also, I do like Birds of Prey. I think it's pretty good. And I also have a feeling that we have a murder coming up in this next round anyways. And I don't want to, like, project forward, though, but still, sometimes I have to look ahead a little bit. The Batman is going to be going over whatever this Punisher thing is. I can't really see it. I'm sorry, don't roast me. But the Batman was going to win this little segment here anyways. It's literally one of the greatest comic book films ever to me, and we'll see how far it goes. Next up's going to be Guardians 2 versus Far From Home. This is easily Guardians 2 for me. Now that we're not comparing it to a bad Superman movie, I can finally talk about Far From Home. I really don't like Far From Home. I think it's the worst Spider-Man movie, pretty much undeniably. Like, I think there's even a gap between Far From Home and whatever second worst. And Guardians 2, I think, is just a great movie, a great comic book film. A great comic book film. Oh my god. Infinity War vs. Black Widow. This is not the first time that Black Widow has died in the Infinity War era, we could just say. This is going to be Infinity War. Yeah, she's getting murdered yet again, kind of like in Endgame. So, yeah, going to be moving on. Like, there's not much to say here. I don't think Black Widow is, like, a bad movie. It's just not a good one. It's fine. And then Infinity War, I'm not just saying this because it's, like, ambitious or just because it has such a big scale, but it's just a great movie. Next up is going to be Endgame versus BVS. Endgame, this movie is way too flawed, BVS, as much as I really do enjoy it. And I think Endgame, for all of its flaws, even though I really don't think it's that flawed, especially with what people say, like, people act like it's super messy script and all that. I really don't think it is. I still think it's one of the all-time greats. Next is going to be Into the Spider-Verse versus Blade 2. Haven't seen it, so this is kind of just a wash, but either way, still super happy with this moving on because I love this movie. It's one of the greatest ever. Next up, TASM 2. Oh, no. This is Homecoming. Wait a second. I think I made another mistake. No, The Amazing Spider-Man 2 is here. Guys, I'm literally tripping right now because look at the Homecoming poster, okay? And look at the Amazing Spider-Man 2 poster. They look so similar. Probably because Tom Holland Spider-Man is always copying people, whether it's Iron Man or... No, I'm joking. I'm not making Iron Boy Jr. jokes right now. I'm going to put Homecoming past... Actually, wait. I'm going to be putting... I'll give Homecoming the benefit of the doubt. I don't really like Homecoming all that much, and I don't really like the Fantastic Four movie from 2005 all that much, but... Even though I think that the 2005 Fantastic Four movie has a lot more sauce to it, I can admit that Homecoming is just put together a bit better, and I do like Spider-Man a bit better. Not just because, oh, I like Spider-Man, that means it's a better movie. No, I do think that it does enough to win this round, but I still don't really love Homecoming, and I'm honestly pretty surprised that it even made this far. Next up, we've got TASM 2 versus the original Superman. Unks are going to get on my ass for this, but, like, I'm literally just putting TASM 2 through. Like, TASM 2 is just, oh my god, we have Homecoming versus TASM 2. This is going to be like an escape podcast debate over here in a little bit, but I just think it's better. Like, I'm sorry, I get more enjoyment out of The Amazing Spider-Man 2, and this movie's so goddamn underrated, I don't care. Next up, Joker versus Guardians 3. Guardians 3, this is pretty easy to me. I think Joker is one of these movies where I know this is very unfair, and, like, I can't blame Todd Phillips or whoever. Actually, I kind of can blame Todd Phillips. But Joker 2, honestly, did damage to the first movie for me. Like, I'm sorry. Like, sometimes I could kind of, like, look past a bad sequel. But it literally made me just change my perspective on how I see this movie. Like, I'm sorry. Now I just see it as, like, cringe. So Guardians 3 is going to be moving on. Next up, oh my god. Batman Begins versus Spider-Man 3. Now, I know some of you guys are saying, no, guys, obviously it's Batman Begins. I'm putting Spider-Man 3 through. Like, I know that sounds crazy. I know that sounds absolutely ridiculous, but at the end of the day, this is my list and my heart. I used to I used to dislike Batman Begins, and then I rewatched it. 9 out of 10. Banger. Absolute heater. But guys, look what I have behind me. Spider-Man 3 is maybe the most underrated comic book film of all time. It's so misunderstood. I love it. It's so stylistically bold. And the thing that really puts this over the edge for me is that in Batman Begins, I think my least favorite part is almost Batman. Like, I think the whole costume and, like, the voice, it just throws me off, whereas Spider-Man 3, almost everything about it's awesome to me. Like, I'm sorry, but I'm pretty much unapologetically feeling that way. Oh my god, we have so much left to do. Okay. Superman 2 versus The Wolverine. I'm going to be putting through Superman 2. Haven't seen it in a bit, like I said, but The Wolverine is just a bit too flawed for my liking. Civil War versus Black Panther. Civil War. I think this is pretty close, but I think that the ending of Civil War is so much better than the ending of Black Panther. Even though I do like the score of Black Panther and some of, like, the flavor of Black Panther more. Like, yeah, it has, like, the airport battle here, but I think the battle at the end is just so bad, man. And honestly, it does derail this movie just a bit for me. Deadpool 2 versus Captain America: The First Avenger. These are two films that I both give 4 stars to, I believe. 4 out of 5s. This is kind of tough. I need to think because this movie's more fun, but this one has more soul and charm. I think I'm going to go with Deadpool 2. Usually I wouldn't do this, but I think I just enjoy the fun side of this. And the thing is, even though I think that there's so much greatness in The First Avenger, I'll never stop talking about this. One thing that drags this movie down so much for me that a lot of people maybe wouldn't expect, or like that you wouldn't anticipate watching for the first time, is Red Skull. I think Red Skull is just such a weak villain. Like, yes, I get he's iconic or whatever, but he's so weak to me. And I really like Cable as the villain in here with like Juggernaut and stuff. It's fun. It's kind of silly. It has time travel and all that. I just like that type of stuff. Next up is going to be Spider-Man 2 over Blade. I just haven't seen Blade. And Spider-Man 2, it's greatness, obviously. So it's going to be moving on. I can't complain there. Next up, this is going to be a hot take. Because, see, I'm a Batman fan through and through. But I love Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. I love it. And I'm lower on Mask of the Phantasm than probably like 90% of people because I did not grow up with the animated series, so it just didn't really hit the same for me. And I love Scott Pilgrim, so it's going to be moving on. Next up is going to be Deadpool versus Spider-Man. Spider-Man for sure, literally one of the greatest superhero origin films of all time. Some of the greatest quotes of all time. It's ridiculous what Sam Raimi was able to do here. He basically like invented the origin story of superhero characters here, at least like in the 21st century, you could say, or like reinvented it. We've got Kingsman versus Ragnarok. Ragnarok's going to be moving on because the Kingsman sucks. Even though I don't think Ragnarok's the best thing since sliced bread, still the Kingsman's way better. Next up, we've got Thor the Dark World versus Thor Love and Thunder. Jesus Christ. I'm going to be going Thor Love and Thunder. I don't know how this even made it this far, but yeah, from what I can remember, I like this movie a little bit better than The Dark World. Actually, this is really a toss-up for me because I haven't seen both of these in a while. I'll just go Love and Thunder for now just because I've seen it more recently. Next up, oh my god, what an incredible matchup here. Let me just tell you this. Real hoopers, real ball knowers love both of these films. V for Vendetta and X2. God, this is so tough because V for Vendetta, the ending brings a tear to my goddamn eye, and I just watched it for the first time recently. But X2 is a movie that just continues to grow in my heart, and I love it to death. I think I've got to put V for Vendetta, though. As much as that hurts me to say, again, this is like a game respects game matchup. Like, this is the type of matchup where, like, they're going to do a jersey swap and just hold it up. Because no matter who wins, no matter who loses, there's a lot of respect between these two films. I love both of these movies. Like, sometimes you don't need a movie to be 5 stars to love it. I just love both of these films. They're just so great. V for Vendetta is moving on. Shang-Chi, Guardians of the Galaxy, Guardians of the Galaxy. Again, it's my Star Wars. I'm sorry. I love this movie. Shang-Chi 2 is a bit flawed. I feel like it kind of starts to, like, fizzle out a bit towards the end of the second act, but then it kind of picks back up. Next, it's going to be Iron Man versus Black Adam. Goodbye, Dwayne The Rock Johnson. I hope that, you could buy a bus ticket on the way home. Next up, it's going to be Winter Soldier versus Age. Oh my god, I'm over here like, Age of Ultron, Winter Soldier. For show. I just think that Age of Ultron, it's a bit too messy for me. Ultron's cool and all, but the political thriller element, I love, like, espionage, conspiracy stories, someone's pulling the strings behind the scenes. Love that. Love the Winter Soldier. Love Cap. All that. Let's move on. We've got X-Men Origins versus Iron Man. Wait. Iron Man 2. Oh, that was Iron Man 2. Okay, I think I said Iron Man. I forgot which one I said. Either way, though, Iron Man 2 beats that, so that's okay. Iron Man is going to absolutely destroy X-Men Origins Wolverine. One thing that's pretty funny is that I'm pretty sure I gave X-Men Origins Wolverine a 3 out of 10, and I gave Iron Man a 9 out of 10, so you could technically say that I think Iron Man is 3 times better than this movie. That's actually pretty crazy when you think about it. Logan versus Morbius. Goodbye, Jared Leto. I hope that you never get a job again in Hollywood. Sorry, but you're a weirdo. Next is going to be Daredevil versus Avengers. Avengers, pretty okay. Avengers just disappeared. Avengers, okay, that just scared me. I did not want to restart this list. Avengers going to be moving on. It's just a better film. I'm a bit lower on it. I rewatched it recently. Like, I think it's really good, but yeah, Daredevil, still going to be moving on. Next up, oh my god, I forgot about this. I saw this. I didn't want to bring it up. We have The Dark Knight versus X-Men Days of Future Past. 2 of my favorite comic book films of all time. I'm not saying it's the top 2, but like, let me think about this for a second here. Honestly, this is going to take a minute, so just give me a second here. I think that Batman is getting a lot of love on this list. He's getting a lot of love, and I love The Dark Knight. But Days of Future Past does something for me. God, this is 2 10 out of 10 movies for me. I'm going to be honest. And I need to just think for a second, so I'm sorry. But I think we're going to have a Batman movie moving on. That's the thing. And I'm trying to think, like, how could I be fair here? What movie really means what movie means more to me? What movie do I care about more? I think I can admit this. I think that The Dark Knight is the better movie here. I'll honestly concede. I'll say, hey, The Dark Knight's the better movie. But I love Days of Future Past more. And at the end of the day, you guys got to keep in mind, man, I'm splitting hairs here. This could basically be the finals. At the end of the day, I think I just got to go with my heart. I got to go with what I love more. God, but I love The Dark Knight so much. I think the thing that brings The Dark Knight down for me, though, and I'll never forget about saying this. I don't know what I'm saying at this point. I will never not say this. Though one of the worst parts of The Dark Knight to me is Batman, kind of. Now, what do I mean by that? I don't like the voice, man, and I think his cowl looks so goofy. So whenever he's on screen, it looks ridiculous. Now, I love when this movie's being like Heat, but when it's being Batman, like it's just a better Heat thriller movie than a Batman movie. And I think I'm gonna go with Days of Future Past. Like, I'm sorry, they're both 10 out of 10 for me. Like, this could be the finals, but I have to choose one. Sorry if that took too long, but let's move on. I like the fact that Thor: Love and Thunder made it further than The Dark Knight, but like it's two 10 out of 10s. It was random seating. That's the only fair way to do this. Across the Spider-Verse versus Wonder Woman, easily Across the Spider-Verse. This is where Wonder Woman goes down. I don't think Wonder Woman's like all that good, but it still is very good. Next up, we've got the Lego Batman movie versus Men in Black. It's going to be the Lego Batman movie. Okay, why do they keep disappearing? You're scaring me. I do not want to restart this right now, like I already said. The Lego Batman movie is just so damn good. I just think it's so fun. Like, it really understands the character of Batman, which sounds kind of funny. I'm really excited for the video game, by the way. So, maybe I'll make a video talking about the Lego Batman video game. Let me know if you guys maybe want to see that. But, yeah, it, like, genuinely understands the character of Batman. I really love it. Shazam versus Suicide Squad. Goodbye, Shazam. Sorry about that, buddy. But, yeah, moving on. The Batman Birds of Prey. Another DC matchup over here. Gonna be putting the Batman through. This is just, like, honestly one of my favorite films of all time. I don't want to, like, spoil the list a little too early here, but gonna be moving on. Next up's going to be Guardians 2 versus Infinity War. I hate to see Guardians 2 go because I think it's really underrated. James Gunn, you know, it's not his best movie. I think it actually might be like towards the bottom, but he still makes all great movies to me, so like it's still an achievement. Infinity War, though, has got to move on, though, realistically. And then we've got Endgame and Into the Spider-Verse. See, realistically, I have to go Into the Spider-Verse here, but Avengers Endgame, that final hour is maybe the greatest hour ever of any comic book film. And it's tough to go against that, but I think Spider-Verse is so good start to finish, whereas Endgame, it builds and builds and builds. And again, I think Endgame is a lot better than people give credit for. Like, I'm not going to lie. I do give Endgame 5 stars. I haven't seen it in a while, granted, but yeah, and Into the Spider-Verse is just ridiculous. Next up's going to be TASM 2 versus Homecoming. See, I know that we talked about all these other silly little battles, but when it comes to you guys watching, I know that a lot of you comic book film heads like me, you guys know this is a battle, an all-time battle. This is so easily TASM 2 for me. Like, I'm sorry. This is a real Spider-Man movie for men, and this is a Spider-Man movie for little boys, okay? TASM 2, if you're a grown man, if you know what Sauce is, if you know what good movies are, that's what TASM 2 is. The TASM 2 suit is better. The web swinging is better. I think it's more interesting on a plot level. I think the villain of Electro is better. Emma Stone's death at the end, it's way more emotional than anything that happens in Homecoming. I'm sorry. Oh my God. The good things in Homecoming are going to be the little twist that Michael Keaton is Liz's dad. And, you know, it's fun, okay? It's a fun little movie. I don't really love the Washington, D.C. thing. I think that it's just so safe, and it doesn't feel like it has any energy or, like, again, sauce to it. I know that sounds, like, so corny or whatever, but it's a real, genuine thing. John Watts did not cook with that movie. I'm sorry. Like, Mark Webb, the guy's last name was Webb. He's literally made Spider-Man movies. I'm sorry. He's going to be moving on. Do I go against my glorious king, James Gunn, or my glorious king, Sam Raimi here? Now, I know. A lot of people are going to say, no. Obviously, Guardians 3, because it's better written. It's written better. But Spider-Man 3, and I know that some of you guys are throwing your phones right now and you're smashing your computers, but you guys have to understand. You guys have to see my vision. You guys need to see my vision about how good this movie is. And maybe this is a hot take, but one thing that still bothers me to this day about Guardians 3, and it's why I can't give it 5 stars, is that I still think someone should have died. A lot of people make fun of Stranger Things because there wasn't a lot of stakes and because nobody dies. Guardians 3 low-key did something kind of similar. I'm not going to lie. Like, I'm going to be so honest. Like, you could have just killed one person, and maybe it would have just raised the stakes a bit more. And we do fake outs, but man, if Star-Lord died at the end of this movie, like for real and not a fake out, that would have had me crying. This movie would have been 10 out of 10. I know that maybe, you know, not everybody needs to die all the time, but I'm just saying, it's just a point. We're getting really intense here. Next up is going to be Superman 2 versus Civil War. Gonna be going Civil War because, again, I haven't really seen Superman 2. It's kind of been hanging on for a bit too long here. Spider-Man 2 versus Deadpool 2. Gonna be Spider-Man 2. I mean, it's just a better movie overall. Doc Ock, Spider-Man's character arc's way better. And this movie can be a bit messy. So, like, it's funny, it's silly, whatever, but that's about it. Spider-Man's gonna be beating Scott Pilgrim. I really like Scott Pilgrim, but Spider-Man's like maybe the greatest origin film ever for a superhero character. Thor Love and Thunder versus Thor Ragnarok. I like Ragnarok way better. I don't think Ragnarok's amazing. I'm gonna be honest. I cannot believe that Ragnarok made it to like the final 8, I believe we're down to. The Elite 8. Ooh. This is really tough. V for Vendetta versus Guardians. The problem here is that I just watched V for Vendetta for the first time, and Guardians I've been watching for a decade. Guardians is going to be moving on. The music, the characters, the story, the villain, Ronan. I still believe Ronan is a good villain. I don't care what anybody says. I feel like I'm exposing all my hot takes in this video, but maybe I'll do a hot takes video. Let me know in the comments down below. But yeah, Guardians is going to be moving on. Iron Man 2 versus Winter Soldier. This is going to be Winter Soldier. Iron Man 2, again, I think it's underrated, but it was just time for it to go. We've got Winter Soldier, one of the bigger dogs up here. Next up, we've got Iron Man versus Logan. These are two 9 out of 10s for me. I'm going to be honest, though. I'm always going to be an Iron Man fan. Logan, I watched it recently, maybe last year. Again, I gave it a 9 out of 10, but I think I've dropped it down to maybe like an 8. Call me crazy, but I don't really love all the Xavier stuff. And I also think that I just personally don't 100% buy into the direction that James Mangold went with this movie. Now, I think mostly it works. Like, it's incredible. It's great. It's a great movie. I just don't think it's like 10 out of 10 personally. So I think Iron Man's better. Next up's going to be the Avengers versus Days of Future Past. Listen, Days of Future Past has to go up. It has to move up. I think it's way better than the Avengers, honestly, in my personal opinion, because the Avengers does feel a bit like a TV movie to me. And it would be disrespectful to say that The Dark Knight is better also than the Avengers. It's kind of like avenging, you could say, The Dark Knight. Guys, we're into the Elite 8 here. Let's jump back up. We got a lot of Spider-Man, I'm not going to lie, which is pretty crazy, but I'm not going to just choose different characters just for the sake of choosing. We got Across the Spider-Verse versus Lego Batman Movie 2 animated behemoths. I did not plan it that way, but Across the Spider-Verse is unfortunately just better. I think this is just one of the greatest comic book films of all time. I'm sorry, but it's just the reality. Next up, we've got Suicide Squad versus the Batman. As much as I love the Suicide Squad and I love James Gunn, Matt Reeves is an absolute psychopath, lunatic sicko for making this movie. I'm so serious. This film is just a vision just thrown up onto the screen. He's ridiculous. Everything about this movie I love. Next up is going to be Infinity War versus Into the Spider-Verse. I'm going Into the Spider-Verse. Infinity War is a really cool movie, right? Obviously, it's practically like 5 stars for me. But I think Into the Spider-Verse just has so much more juice to it and emotional depth and thematic elements. And even though the build-up, obviously, the MCU is really cool to see, I just think I have an incredible time with Into the Spider-Verse. And also, I actually think Endgame's better than Infinity War. I'm sorry. Next up, how the hell is TASM 2 still here? Unfortunately, it's going to be going. Spider-Man 3 is going to be beating it. Okay, why are we doing this? I know that you guys are probably laughing, why is Spider-Man 3 in, now the Elite 8? I actually made a mistake. That was the Sweet 16. But yeah, going to be putting it there. I just love it. I'm sorry. It's just a really great movie. I'm sorry. I honestly cannot believe that Spider-Man 3 is in the Elite 8. I'm not going to lie. Next up is going to be Civil War versus Spider-Man 2. Civil War had a good run, but the Russos do not have the same sauce as Sam Raimi. I'm sorry. Doc Ock, all the character stuff is way better in here to me. Now, Civil War is great. My biggest knock on it is that it is a really ugly movie, and I understand that it's meant to look like gray because it's trying to be more serious and stuff, but yeah, I just don't really think, it's on the same level as Spider-Man 2. Let's just be real. Pizza time. Next up's going to be Spider-Man versus Thor Ragnarok. This is honestly pretty easy for me. I can't believe Ragnarok made it this far. Congratulations, Ragnarok, honestly, for holding on that long, but Spider-Man's just better. And I know that I've all a Spider-Man in the Elite 8 or whatever, but there's just good Spider-Man movies, man. I'm not just choosing this on purpose. Next up, oh my god, the Battle of 2014. Guardians versus Winter Soldier. This is splitting my soul in half. This is because on paper, I'm more of a Winter Soldier, political thriller type of person. I love the Winter Soldier as a character. Might be my favorite character design ever. But the Guardians, they're like my family, man. The end of that movie almost makes me cry. But even though Winter Soldier is a political thriller, the end of that movie almost makes me cry. With the end of the line, Oh, this is so tough. I've got to pick Guardians, I think. I've got to pick Guardians, but they're both 5 stars. They're both 5 stars. Like, this is where things are going to get tough. This is where boys become men. This is where boys become men, making tough decisions like this. And I think I've just got to bite the bullet here and choose Guardians, even though that's so tough. Let me think about it before I really move on here, because ScarJo, I really love Black Widow. Always got to keep one eye open, man. Nick Fury. Or 2 eyes open, whatever he says. I'm just going to move on because I can't think about it for any longer. Iron Man versus Days of Future Past. This is like a pretty simple matchup of just a 5-star movie versus a 4.5-star movie. Like, let's just keep things simple here. I really love Iron Man. I absolutely adore it. It's the MCU's version, essentially, of Spider-Man 1. I know that's a bit silly, but I know they're just both origins. But in all seriousness, it just goes really deep into the character. It keeps things pretty simple, and it's just really great writing. Now we're into the Elite Eight. Across the Spider-Verse versus the Batman. Good God. Like, the thing is, you have to expect this, though, right? You have to expect it. At this point, we're going to be making the tough decisions. I'm going to be going the Batman because the Batman is one of my favorite movies of all time, like, period. Across the Spider-Verse is also one of my favorite movies of all time. Probably in the top 10. So this hurts. It's brutal. But I think with this film, and I don't criticize this movie for this, I need to see beyond before I can revisit Across, which I think is fair because I want to see where that ending leads us to. Next up is going to be Into the Spider-Verse versus, I forgot what's here, Spider-Man 3. Okay. Guys, I'll calm down. We're going to go into the Spider-Verse, okay? We're going to go into the Spider-Verse. I'll relax. Spider-Man 3 had a miraculous underdog type of run, a little Cinderella story run, if you will, but it's over now. It's over. Next up is going to be Spider-Man 1 versus Spider-Man 2. Now, one thing that's really great about this matchup is that I actually just both watched these. First of all, recently, and second of all, back-to-back. I watched them in the same night back-to-back 3 weeks ago, so I'm very fresh on them. What movie's better, though? What movie's better? I legitimately forgot which one I think is better, because this is what I always say about these two movies. There is no 2-film run, whether it's like, a film and a sequel, this, that I have a harder time deciphering which one is better than Spider-Man 1 and Spider-Man 2. And until the day I die, I will never be able to figure out which of these films are better. I'm not even just talking about the bracket. I think about this all the time because, again, I just watched them and I was still like, oh my God, this is the 100th time that I'm seeing them. I still don't know which one's better. I think I'm gonna today go, Spider-Man. Wait, hold on. I gotta think. I'm gonna go Spider-Man. Oh my God, do I like Green Goblin? Do I like Doc Ock? I'm gonna go Spider-Man 1. Oh my God, that's so painful. Guys, it's basically a coin flip. I basically just chose a film. I'm gonna be honest. Like, that's so tough, man. That's so tough. Let's just move on. I'm too sad to even think about that. Guardians versus Days of Future Past, another 2014 lineup. By the way, 2014 was the greatest year for comic book films ever. 3 5-star films in one year. I think that this is just so brutal, man. I'm going to have to go Guardians. Because I have a more emotional connection. Now, I think Days of Future Past is literally one of the greatest comic book films ever, but Guardians is just Guardians, man. I love Guardians so much. Now we're into the top 4, okay? I'm going to start with the right side because I think that's a bit tougher than the left. I think that the left side's a bit tougher, but the right side, I think I have a bit more of a clear picture. Actually, I'm completely lying. Guardians versus Spider-Man 1. Oh my God. Guardians is so emotional, and I love the team, and I love the ending where his mom says, touch my hand, grab my hand. The dancing, the music. I feel like that I almost, when I was like younger, almost based my personality off of Star-Lord, man. Like, I always wanted to be energetic, and when I was like 12 years old. But Spider-Man. I also wanted to be the best person that I could be. I think I'm going to go Spider-Man, guys. I think I'm going to switch things up today. I'm going to go Spider-Man 1. Oh, that's so tough. That's really so tough. That's so brutal. This matchup's brutal too. Guys, this is actually painful. Like, I'm actually decaying on the inside. Not just because I'm getting older by the second, like, naturally, but this is literally aging me like 10 years. The Batman versus Into the Spider-Verse. I need to make this clear. I need to go the Batman here, even though I think they're like the same quality film. If you flip the coin here, I would have no complaints but the Batman just means more to me. Even though Into the Spider-Verse also means the world to me. But the Batman, like, it's one of these movies that almost changed my life and changed the way that I view comic book films. And now we've got the Batman and Spider-Man, two of the biggest heroes ever. One that's been around for 25 years, one that's been around for 4. Which one's better at the end of the day? I don't know if you guys could see from up here. Got my Robert Pattinson Batman mask, but also I've pretty much like dressed up as Spider-Man too. I love both of these characters to death. And I think that at the end of the day, when it comes to my own personal ideas of what movie I would want to make, like let's say that I was directing one of these movies. I got credit for one of these films. What movie would I want credit for if I made them? Because I love them so much and I love what they did. I think that the winner of this bracket, 128 films, is going to be The Batman. Yes, it's 4 years old, but it's just one of my favorite movies of all time. It's like a top 3 favorite film of all time for me. I don't want to say that early in the video because I didn't know who was going to win. This was pretty tough. But guys, The Batman's going to end up winning this bracket. But listen, guys, I'm exhausted right now. Thank you guys so much for watching. And comment down below what takes I had were horrible, which ones were great. But that's going to just about do it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.